Hi, I'm Valerie Raboin, Member Services Supervisor, here to talk to you about the upcoming mandatory RFID transition happening at all of our gates. So what is RFID? RFID is the acronym for Radio Frequency Identification Device. The RFID transponder is a physical chip that is applied to a vehicle or a golf cart. This chip triggers the gate to open, and once the vehicle goes through, the gate will close. Starting in January, the Canyon Lake POA will begin to phase out the vehicle decal as a community access option. In its place, residents must have an RFID transponder to access the community. We began issuing RFID transponders to members in 2016, and to date, 80% of our members have an RFID transponder. The mandatory RFID transition will begin at North Gate on Monday, January 13th. On this date, the existing right lane will become an RFID and oversized vehicle-only lane. The existing guest lane on the left will remain, and all guests, both new and returning, will be required to use this lane. In addition, residents who do not have an RFID will need to use the guest lane on the left. The East Gate will be the next transition, taking place on February 17th. On this day, the existing middle lane will be converted to an RFID, POA Card, and returning guest lane. The right lane will remain an RFID and oversized vehicle lane. Members who do not have an RFID or POA card will need to access the community through the guest lane on the far left. Lastly, Main Gate will transition to RFID only on March 16th. On this day, the existing middle lane will be converted to an RFID, POA card, and returning guest lane. The right lane will remain an RFID only lane. Members who do not have an RFID or POA card will need to access the community through the guest lane on the far left. After the gates have transitioned, members' current decals will be recognized for parking rather than access until the decal's expiration date. Members can then come into the Member Services office with their current vehicle registration to pick up their permanent parking decal. A vehicle must have a permanent parking decal in order to have an RFID transponder installed. RFID is the quickest and most efficient way to access the community. It gives the Canyon Lake POA improved control and tracking of all gate access. And it can also alert members when a vehicle with a transponder linked to their property enters the community. Furthermore, with RFID, members don't have to visit our offices as much. Homeowners will no longer be required to provide vehicle registration on an annual basis. Instead, the RFID transponders will remain active until the vehicle is sold or the owner moves out of the community. Please note that memberships with an annual expiration date, such as tenants, sub-associates, and resident members, will still be required to provide valid vehicle registration on an annual basis. Even better, RFID transponders are free for all members. To get your RFID, simply visit the Member Services office with your current registration and the actual vehicle. Our friendly staff will activate and apply the RFID chip to your vehicle. For additional information and some helpful frequently asked questions about RFID and this transition, visit www.canyonlakepoa.com/RFID.